laboratory here. Give me a second, and we will be ready to rock and roll. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day so far, and we're gonna be on the set momentarily. Forgive me, I am almost there. All right. Woo! All right, we're just around the corner from the set there, and then we're gonna be going. Hello to everybody. Good to see you. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it sexy, baby. All right. Let's get down here. Gonna turn on the stage light so we can see. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. So there's one, and there's two. All right, everybody. Welcome to Potsquatch Growers. That's right. We are ready to have the show and ready to get rocking and rolling. How's everyone doing today so far? We have had a busy day here at Potsquatch Growers, but things are going well. What's happening, Cadillac Jack? Good to see you, buddy. All right. So let's go back to the very beginning. A bunch of people have been talking. I got a feeling that not all of you are here. What's happening, Growers Plus? Good to see you. What's up, Van Island Beauty? What's up, Jason? Hey! What's up, Derek Cloud? Good to see you, my friend. All right. Texas Squatch, good to see you. What's up, Soul Price? What's cracking like? What's happy dude Rose? All right. Jeremiah Sanchez and the Hizzy. Cadillac Jack's here too. Grow weed every day. I concur. My friend Mud Swat. Or at least every day you got the energy too. Sometimes you got to take a break in between runs too. That's one thing I will say to people at home, you know, who are wanting to, you know, or do run channels and stuff. Sometimes, you know, you need to take a break. Doesn't, you know, basically. A second here. I'm just plugging the cell phone in. The battery isn't as high as it could be. It's definitely not as high as I am right now. But anyway, all right. What's up, Grimity? Good to see you. I am having a good day. It's been a busy day, but it's been a good day. And the good news is, too, everybody, we're going to have everything up and running in terms of the seeds fairly soon. I think I'm going to try to get, I believe Esmael is still awake. Return to the Mac. If you're around, I want to do a few tweaks on that. And I'm going to try to get a few things together because I want to put some stickers in for order basically today for the seeds, everybody. So we're going to be able to get those up on the website for you. All right. But for those of you who are just joining us who haven't been on the show in a while, the store is open. That is right. The store is, in fact, completely open. First of all, I'm going to say cheers. This bud's for you, everybody. And the good news is we're slowly but surely, I'm going to finish harvesting the last 2 crosses of seeds that I haven't had a chance to get around to tonight. That's kind of my goal for the night. And then once I get that done, I can kind of get everything back up and running here. We're going to have the plants running. We're going to be doing Girl Scout cookies by Blue Cheese. We're going to be doing Galactic Citrus Shiva, which is one of the strains that we just recently invented on the channel. It's just an F1 though, but we're going to take a look and see what our handiwork has done. And we're going to have 2 surprises as well for you going on. And here, I'm just going to turn on the do not disturb here because a bunch of things keeps flashing on my phone. Do not disturb. And then we're back. There we go. So we're not going to get any weird buzzing or beeping or crap like that. All right. All right. So one second here. Yeah, you did, Growers Plus. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the show. Yeti Mountain Trading. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show. And for those of you, you know, who have been saying, you know, like, oh, I really want to try the beard oil. That's all up on the website, everybody. It's all there. It's all rocking. And, you know, one of the cool things is we built this website for, well, okay. To be fair, Luna, my computer programmer, built the technical coding for this website. But, you know, we were the company that, you know, facilitated it, designed it in terms of what we wanted and stuff. But it's all on dedicated servers. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, it's not on some Shopify thing. It's not by some big conglomerate. No, it is a freestanding, hand-coded, custom piece of software that is just us. We built it for ourselves and our own payment portal, too. All right. Oh, Shiner Pops. Oh, Growers Plus. Shiner Pops. Fuck, now I know exactly who you are. Hell yeah, buddy. What's happening, Reverend Veritas? I agree. Squatchlandia. I like that. Maybe that's another, a tattoo I can get somewhere on my body, you know. Citizen of Squatchlandia. All right. I like that one. That's pretty funny. What's up, Damian Wiggle? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Yeah, what's up, Gonji Dolly, old mama girl? You weren't in the show yesterday, but here you are today. It must be late for you, though. My God. The people of the UK holding on for the show that's way later than it normally is, like 3.5 hours later. Ganjanana's like, I had a can of Coke and it's kept me up. Oh shit. Well, at least you're in the show, girl. What's up, JP Page 2? How you doing? So anyway, let's get back to the show. So one, I'm excited. I mean, hell, we could do something kind of fun. Do I even have the key to the vault right now? Well, this is probably not in there though. Okay, we could like read out some options. Maybe we can let you all pick. Oh fuck! Of course, I've left the keys upstairs. Son of a bitch. Do I have the list out? No, I've got it locked up too. Okay, I was going to include everybody in like getting to pick one of the strains we're going to grow in the next run. But I mean, I got a lot of them in my head. What's up, Roman Rex? It's good to see you. What's up, Soul Price? Good to see you, man. No, that's all right, Ganjanani, mama. You had to get your beauty sleep so you could be in the show today. I get it. So, like, what do we want to see Uncle Potsquatch do? So, we're going to be doing, obviously, the Galactic Citrus Shiva. We're going to rock some of those, okay? We're gonna rock some of that blue cheese, okay, by Girl Scout cookies. What kind of thing do you want? Like, we have such a plethora of randomosity, everybody. Like, I'm just, there's so many types of things in there. Like, what do you want to see? Hell, I mean, there's so many options we could do for you. What kind of things you want to see? I mean, we have some of the older classics, there's a Master Kush by Pink Kush. No. That's wrong. I'm wrong. It's a Northern Lights by Pink Kush that we have. That's interesting. We've got like 3 or 4 different Bruce banners in there. If you wanted to see us run something like that. Yeah, Mountain Training. Love the pizza squatch. Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm running this kitchen, right? And it's like, I'm the boss. I'm El Jefe of this one. So I was like, I work. I was like, man, I got all this pulled chicken for the pulled chicken barbecue sandwich, like, I was like, well, I've been selling really quick. So what can I do with this? I'm like, I'll make it into some specialty flatbreads. We'll freeze that shit. Perfect for getting high and munching on. Because I love me some barbecue chicken flatbread, or a pizza, etc. Jeremiah Sanchez, you want to see me do a skunk? I have 9 different skunks. So we got a number of different skunks in there that we could totally do. Probably like there's like a Vancouver Island sweet skunk in there, I think. There is a... Part of me almost wants to say apricot skunk, but I could be wrong on my memory on that one. I have to check the list. But anyway, we could definitely do something like that. Roman Reckless, well, the Galactic Citrus Shiva is going to be done. We're going to be doing like a big chunk of those. So we're going to be popping at least 10 or 15 of those. Who's your Squatch? I don't have a bubblegum by Pink Kush, sadly. And I don't know if I have any bubblegum seeds left. I think the only bubblegum I officially have in here is a seed that might be from bubblegum, but I was never 100% sure on it. And I just kind of was like, I'm pretty sure on this one. So I'm going to put it in a container, but mark it as such. We got a number of different Kushes, too. We got, anything with blueberry in it. Yeah, Reverend Veritas, I've got some DJ Short Blueberry Indica, I believe, still left in there. Now we've done that one on the channel, so I don't want to, like, repeat a strain we already done. What's up, the Quiet Witch? Good to see you, sister. But I do have some, it's either Blueberry Muffin by DJ Short or Blueberry Yum Yum. I got one of those in there. Oh, who's your Squatch? I wish I had a tuna Kush. I actually personally, for a newer age Kush, I've always been very impressed by the tuna Kush. I got some Fire and Ice OG, I think, in there somewhere. We've got the Kush from Pilgrim. We've already run those. CSLRC Lauren says, planted 4 seeds today to celebrate my daughter's birthday. Hell yeah, CSLRC Lauren. How old is your daughter? Or is it literally the day of her birth and you just had a child today? Dude, Yeti Mountain Training. Look, dude, I'm going to send it out to you right now. State inspection will go okay. Law of attraction. Do not allow fear into your mind, Yeti. It is the law of attraction into the universe. Our boy, our fellow Potsquatch Yeti Mountain Trading will excel and pass with flying colors in terms of his state inspection. If there's anything that he needs to change, it will be small and easy to utilize and do without very much issue. Done! There you go, my friend. Think that way. Repeat those words. Repeat the mantra, and it will be fine. I've got a Northern Lights by Pink Kush. Right now, I don't have any Northern Lights that I would deem a true Northern Lights in my collection. Sadly, I used most of those back in the day when I was doing my Northern Lights Master Kush Cross. Oh, blueberry yum yum. It was an astute name because it is very yummy. Hey, this old stoner dude, congratulations, first of all, on your first year of growing. And you know, stepping up your game is always good, right? We're always loving and expanding and what we do. But again, don't think about it like, you know, I got to step up my game. It's like, no, like I'm in love with this. I'm passionate about this, and I'm about to take it to the next level because it's all about taking certain things to the next level. That doesn't always necessarily mean a bigger grow or more lights. I mean, it can mean a lot of things for us as growers, but elevating ourselves, challenging ourselves, moving on as growers with what we're doing is part of one of the fun things of doing what we can for this shit. You know what I'm saying? What's that, everybody? I just reading real quick. CSL RC Lauren, as in your ACMPR? Bear with me, everybody. I'm just reading. Jason Anderson, great question. Jason has asked everybody, is it okay to reuse soil? I have a big shortage where I live. You can definitely do that. You got to remember, though, when it comes to reuse soil, I mean, especially if we're using bottle newts, so therefore, you know, most of us would have flushed, right? So you've stripped off a lot of the base nutrition, the base minerals, and all of that. You can totally reuse it, especially as long as you didn't have any, you know, kind of infiltration of, you know, peth or pathogenic anything, and everything, you know, seems to be copacetic. You should be good. Okay. But the one thing to remember though is we've stripped out a lot of this stuff by both the run and then also the flush. Okay. So what I would encourage you to do is remember that with reused soil, you're going to have to actually start feeding fairly early. We've actually double tapped a reused soil on our show before. Let's think now. I would have been at the last lab. Would have been maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago. But you can go back and find those runs. So you can actually watch us reuse soil for a whole run. We did do that on the show. It'd be hilarious. Where'd my beard go? There it is. You know, if there was someone on here who knew my shit like the back of their hand, be like, oh, I know what he's talking about. Like, here's the first video, here's the last video, and that was that run reusing it. Maybe one day I'll know my own content enough where I could share that for you too. But maybe one day. So Roman was unlucky somehow. I'm just not sure. Wow, this is weird. It's not letting me like scroll up to past messages. Oh, there it is. I fixed it. There we go. We're good. Yeah, so Jason Anderson, I mean, salt buildup, I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, here's my question. So, Jason, I'm assuming then obviously you are using a soil that you then paired with bottled nutrients, a salt-based nutrient system. Did you flush? How hard did you flush? How did you approach your flush? I don't know Tony Price. Basically, what I'm going to say to everybody is I'm going to teach you a lesson, okay? First of all, the ACMPR system is not meant to cost you money. Before I go on with my diatribe of this, I currently have to pay for my license renewals too, okay? I pay for my license renewals because the doctor who's signing mine for 16 years retired, okay? So now I have to kind of go. I mean, if you're lucky enough to find a doctor who's compassionate enough and willing to sign your documents, that's absolutely great. It is a very rare thing, which has then led to these third-party consultancy companies or well, that's what they are. They're a consultancy, aka they're connecting you with usually a registered nurse these days, because registered nurses, like a proper full nurse, is allowed to sign the documents here in Canada. And it sucks. I mean, some of them are charging so much for them now, and I'm like, you know, motherfuckers, like you're making money off of something that is meant to be a free system for Canadians under our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So, but at the same time, I mean, yeah. So I do not know a Tony Price. I would say here's my question: what's he charging you for what size license? And I'll tell you what I think about that. Because really, at the end of the day, as long as they do it and as long as it comes through, that's what matters, right? But at the same time, the only other really thing to worry about in terms of these types of services is like, what are they charging you for that signature, which is actually unconstitutional in my humble 2 cents, a complete crock, and people being assholes. Even though I still myself use that service because it's my only option. But the fact is like, that's sad that there's a medical system that's legal in our country for well over 20 years, but now we have to pay some third party who's greedy taking advantage of a free system to sell a signature so we can actually get our papers. Oh, I see, Roman Reckless. I understand. Bear with me here now. Reverend Veritas, I would say the right super soil properly executed will definitely run a whole grow. You should always have a number of tricks up your sleeve just in case certain strains will then run out, because there will not be like one super soil to rule them all. Okay, certain plants will have some different dietary requirements and stuff like that. So sometimes you got to tweak shit. As you get to know genetics, you can kind of tweak it and like update it or whatever. But like having some access to like some teas or doing some home brew shit, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, you can. I mean, you'd be surprised at how comprehensively you can feed your cannabis plant with a lot of crap randomly that's either free or just laying around your damn house. I love how I'm like answering like a number of questions at once. Okay, Brandon, stay on track. Damien Wiggle, that's a very decent price in my humble 2 cents. I'm getting a discount on my 96, and I'm Potsquatch, who's like helping them with some other shit, and I'm paying like, I think my discount, I'm like paying like 263. So I think you're getting a pretty good deal then on that one. That's pretty decent. That's not bad. And if it's your first license too, normally they charge you double for that first license. So fuck, maybe send me his number, because my guys charge me more than that for my shit. Maybe I should talk to him. That's pretty good, to be fair. That's a decent price, man. That ain't bad. So something else, you could totally grow honors with photos. I mean, my main thing is start them at the same time. It'll be kind of a fun thing. Typically, if you're doing a long veg window, your autos are going to be done by the time you flip. I mean, unless you're doing like a quick run around, turn around. So then if you're doing a quick turnaround on your photos, aka lower veg time, which is not going to give the full window time for your autos, you're going to be then choking out your autos, not maximizing what they can do by going to a 12-12, because the whole point of their yieldability is actually still having enough photo period shit time to do the shit. Right? So that'd be the only contradiction there. But I mean, if you're running a nice long veg window, fucking do it. Get some smoke quick and then watch the other ones do. Yeah, so something else, run a long veg time on your photos and just do that. That sounds good to me. That sounds good, Damien Wiggle. Like, damn, I mean, maybe you're going to charge the same for my 96. But I mean, yeah, no, that's a way better price. I mean, the only real thing is like what they do out of province, but it shouldn't technically, be an issue. I've renewed this license. Now let me think here. Let's do some math. I've renewed my license in Canada. IUCNPR. Okay, like at least 15 or 16 times. But last number of years I've been having to use these services as well. But that's a decent price, man. One second here, everybody. I'm just reading. Dude, Jeremiah Sanchez, I love when I get a strain that's growing giant ass fan leaves on my shit. And that's one of the things, we've been kind of playing around, experimenting with growing kind of some more hybridization type things, or things that aren't at least the classical sort of indica, type of varieties that I'm used to growing as the BC grower. We've been playing the last number of runs, with stuff from New Zealand and Gaza. It's been beautiful. And we've had some beautiful big leaves on them, don't get me wrong. But I miss sometimes, like some of my plants would get these giant things, and I mean, we've also coupled those genetics though, so it's not necessarily fair to the genetic, in like tiny little pots too, tiny little cute pots, right? So it's like, it makes sense. So the fact that they got big fan leaves on the size pots we were running, and how quickly we flipped those girls into flower from veg, I mean, that's pretty good actually. So maybe they would be. At Rowan Reckless, I know. At Potsquatch Growers is not into feminization. No, 100% against it unless we have to do it. I can dig that. But if you're in a pinch and you have no males, you can run a female until she makes some fem seeds. Yeah, but I would rather, you're not going to want to run that plant to where it's actually triggered naturally into a stress-based variance, because the health is not going to be there. That's where the beauty of actual, like, sort of the toxic chemical reality of triggering that sort of thing on if we're going to do it. I mean, do it early, because she's still going to be pretty healthy when we do that. So it's actually going to give you a more viable seed that way, would be my only input on that one. Yeah, see, like, and that's fun. That's crazy. Something else, like I'll tell you, like I water like every day, sometimes twice. But I hit my environments pretty hard. Ganjanana, your mom is asking, am I in the Discord group? If you're asking me, then yeah, well, yeah. I don't show up all the time because there's so many apps now. But I am there. I'm aware of it. I'm part of it. Technically, one of the admins of it. What's happening, blasting puffin? Good to see you, man. Much love. I ain't got no pizza, but I got some beer. I'll cheers you to that, buddy. What's up, Red Clouds? Just chilling, baby, getting the show going. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back, Lieutenant Blazer 556. Good to see you as well, Lieutenant Blazer. Bear with me, everybody. I'm just trying to read. Hey, no worries, Lieutenant Blazer 556. There's never a problem with that. Life happens. You have nothing to ever worry about that, buddy. I hope everything's okay. All right, we got up now. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited, everybody. Like, I mean, I wish I had the key down here to kind of go into the thing. We can go back to talking about strains that you want to see on the channel, though. I mean, I got a bunch of different things. I mean, but I probably don't have like a lot of stuff. Because like a lot of you probably want to see some like new age shit, and I don't really buy a lot of that. I got kind of older stuff, but I got a lot of it. Welcome, Big A. Welcome, everybody. Everyone, my best friend from high school, the man who's probably known me longer than almost anyone, and intimately knows all the stupidity of my life that has led to the existence of what this is. Welcome, Big A. Welcome, Big A. All right. So, what's up, Dale Skill G? I'm just chilling, having the show. We doing it. I mean, I'll tell you, there's so few of these seats left that I've kind of wanted to save them until I was in a place to where I could like have a bunch of shit on hand of already previous grows, and then I could just kind of like try to do it to see if I could bring it back in its own way, which was a Sasquatch, the Sasquatch strain. Part of me is almost like just start one, make it a mother, and clone the fuck out of it, and pray to God it's the Dark Mama phenotype returned. What else can we do? I think I got a couple of King's Kush left. I know I already said earlier I'm not going to run something I did on the channel already, but fuck, I liked that shit. The purple phenotype of the King's Kush was crazy. Man, it shows my age. See, like in my mind, Girl Scout cookies is not that old school. Like it's not new age anymore either. But then again, it's like the young kids now like talking about music I grew up with, and they're like, "Oh, that's retro, man." I'm like, "Fuck, what? How is this happening?" Or I go on a classic rock station thinking I'm going to listen to some Led Zeppelin or Sabbath or AC/DC or some ZZ Top or something, and then some 41 or Green Day comes on. I'm like, anyway, uh, hell yeah, Mud Swat. The old diesels are older-ish. Yeah, I mean, I've got some diesel different things. I've got a number of different diesel-y things in my collection. There's a few different diesels in there of some sort. I'm trying to remember what they were, but I mean, they're in there. I know there's some diesels in there. There is one strain. I only got 4 or 5 beans. But, see, like a lot of them, I've just got these limited amounts that like I have to be totally on my game when I do them to try to like either utilize it in a cross or bring it back to have more of it to play with. Um, there's so many fun things though in there that like I'd love. Here's one. Here's a Sat Dom thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, anyone ever who here knows Green Goblin? Who remembers Green Goblin? It's a Sat strain, Sat Dom strain. Not my favorite, but whatever. It's like something fun. Something else like, thanks for your response. Yeah, I was thinking running autos with the photos at 1212 would be kind of a waste, but I got a bunch, so maybe try just 2 at once. I mean, it's not gonna be a waste. You're still gonna have to produce. You're gonna do all right. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna maximize your shit. That's all right, Ganjanani, old mama. Just listen to my sultry voice. I would just say start them with the veg. Do a longer veg on your photos so then you can maximize your autos and then go full hardcore. Because by the time you pull them out, you'll have more room for the full expansion at the flip that you're going to do with your things. I've only worked with AK-47s. I've never worked with AK-48. I am aware of the strain. I've smoked it, but I've never worked with it myself. No, so Cali Exotics, I mean, at the end of the day, what we did on our last run was actually a very, very, very important experiment that we did. The run before that, we cranked with a shitload of lights and all of this, and my power bill was huge. But I was like, so on the next run, the last run that we did, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some conscious decisions here to see if I can get kind of my normal weight, which is, out of that room. And I was only running 3 of my double squatches. So I was like, I want to get at least 6+ pounds, which we did. We got at least 7 or 8 like hardcore tops, and then I got close to another like 4 or 5 pounds of smalls, what I call smalls. Most people call it bud, but I mean it's like I make hash out of it. I make rosin out of it. But my normal power bill on a run, um, you know, uh, for 2 months is usually about $1,000, but I managed to get my power bill down to 385. So basically, we raised the temperatures that we were allowing it to run on, so the AC didn't kick in on all the time. Okay, with running smaller pots and a shorter veg window too, we still managed to crank out some serious weight and some amazing weed. So no, I wouldn't say that. I would say that with the inflation and the increasing cost of things, it is just a testament to us being indoor growers and having to embrace our natural creativity. We can't just be like, kind of crazy and wanton with our shit anymore. We got to fucking dial it in. Like we dial in a grow in general, we got to dial in our power costs, be cognizant to that. So no, hell no. If anything, I think it's great. Not that I think inflation and things costing more in general is great, but I mean, I think the invitation to being able to fucking like try to be creative and use what we know, and use our knowledge and our skills to actually try to reduce production cost and efficacy, I think that's pretty great. So that'd be my response to that, Cali Exotics. I mean, I look at it as more of an invitation to be creative. Yeah, so aerating your water in general is very important, by the way, everybody. That's why aerated water is good for people. It's good for plants. It's good for a lot of things. There's a reason why we have aerators on our water spigots. Yeah, no, I got some really, really old stuff, but again, we're going back to the category red claws on that. But I think I got enough green goblins that I'd be willing to pop a couple of them. But Jeremiah Sanchez, if you want to do that, I will do an experiment with an octopot for you, man. Yeah, so Cali Exotics, here's my question. How many lamps you running? What kind of lamps you running? How do you have them set it up? Are you running them at 240, 120? What are you doing? Give me a little bit more variable action, man. Well, that's the thing, Ozzy Lone Wolf. Like, I got some old bag seeds too. I've got old school ties. I've got a bunch of old school different indicas, man. Like, I got so many cool, exotic, weird things. Some of them are kind of low in terms of their seed count, right? So I was kind of hoping like to do is it a singular initial run and try to, hope to God I get a male. And if I don't, well, I'm at least going to cross it with something else and make something, interesting out of it. But what's up, Johnny? Sometime we titties, I agree. What's what? Bag seed has been some of my favorite grows of all time. No, over aeration, but no, aeration is important because if it's not an aerated water, we're increasing the actual risk of how easily it is to overwater. We're gonna drown out our roots. We're gonna suffocate our roots and encourage bud rot, or not bud rot, root rot. Sorry, brains being. I smoked a lot of hash before this one, so it's my Hindu Kush hash too. It's very good. Oh, a few hundred things, man. A few hundred things, Jeremiah Sanchez. That's where I'm like, oh my god, there's so many things in there that I'm like, it's not quite like. I wish I had the keys. Excuse me. Ooh, I left him upstairs. Okay, here we go. Cali Exotics has said 6 lighter. All right, 3K, 3,000 watts. Power bill 600 a month in the summer, winter. Not much of a difference, 120 volts, but not only that, the cost of nutrients, products went up, and prices of units have gone down. No, totally. So I'll agree with you that. Like, I mean, like if you look at the kind of the gray zone market here in Vancouver, we'll talk about that for a second. The prices on, a unit or a P, for example, are at astronomical lows they've never been in anywhere I've seen in my life. There was a point in time where it was kind of that sweet spot, right? Like where for a true quad would maybe like be hitting like 16 to 22. That was a beautiful time. Not too expensive, but it's still respected work. And then now, like, I mean, shit, man. Like, I know places I call and for good weed off growers I respect and growers where I like their shit. I could go pick up a P for that, like 350 to $600. It's nuts. But like, so for me, I don't grow weed for an income. I grow weed for myself. So that for me isn't really hitting it. So I can only really speak to my personal grows in terms of the fact of the matter of, the power consumption and other secondaries costing more. And but there are ways to work in this new world as cost of secondary production cost goes up to make that work. And anyone in a market where you're like, well, I'm growing these quads, I'm not getting what I wanted from my quads now, you're in legal state, you're working for dispensary, you're doing this. I mean, there's options of what you can produce out of things too, right? Like, I mean, and this is where we as producers, we as growers, we as cannabis, hell, intellectuals. That's what it's right. We're intellectual cannabis motherfuckers. We're craft cannabis. We are connoisseurs. We are scientists. We are artists. We are creative mad hatters. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in our labs doing a bunch of weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so do not get down on yourself. One, it will all even out. I mean, it does. I mean, markets come up and down and fluctuate and all of that. We are at a time where we're seeing inflation go up in a way we've never really seen in a long time, decades and decades. I mean, and certain things are costing more, but I'm going to tell you that there's certain people on the scene that are going to make things and keep making things affordable. You're looking at one of them, right? So a lot of people are like, are you going to release genetics line is, but a nutrient line one day? And I was always like, maybe one day. But if there is genuinely a rising cost of nutrition in the industry, and people start charging more and more for products that we've come to know and love, you goddamn know I'm going to launch one and find a way to do it, to make it the best thing around, but also make it affordable. Fuck it. So don't fret. There is always a way. Where there is a will, there is always a way. And Uncle Potsquatch got all your backs, okay? Like, I mean, so at the end of the day, it has been a frustrating time. I'm not going to lie to you that. I mean, the fluctuating prices on everything and the industry has been crazy. Here in Canada, in terms of how I'll speak to it, I mean, it's been a function of Prohibition 2.0, which is what we've called legalization in my mind. But, and it goes to show you that, like, people can't work together, right? Like, I mean, hell, the market didn't need to fall out. Market never needed to fall out. We could work together and still keep things competitive and fighting for our rights against a tyrannical government that pushed us out of our own industry by making it far too much bureaucratic red tape and unaffordable to do these things, right? Like for me to start right now in British Columbia, Canada, a craft cannabis farm where I'd be allowed 2,300 square feet of indoor canopy space plus 500 micro nursery licenses under their craft system. Because of how BC is and because of the red tape of BC and the local, provincial, municipal things, it's realistically going to cost me anywhere from $800,000 to $2.5 million for that. I got a buddy who's building one, kind of a smaller mid-range size one, but still craft though. So maybe a little bit bigger in terms of like how many licenses are on the facility that I just talked about. And he's already $2.5 million in, that ain't open. You're going to keep going, right? I'll bet you he hit 3.2 million. 3.3 by the time he's actually able to start attempting to go cash positive. And so, if you look at America and legal states, if you look at all these other places that are starting to open up, it would not cost us as Canadians, like even with our weak dollar, we could go down to the States and do this fucking cheaper and shit. So it's pretty much a crock here in Canada in terms of for the little people trying to do their thing. But I mean, but don't give up. We fought for our rights for decades. People were fighting for our rights decades before I even existed. I've only been in the industry 21 and 22 years now. I got to sit down and figure that exactly out, but roughly that. you know. And there were so many people doing this. So it's like, we are used to a fight. We are used to being the underdog. We are used to being the people that are fucked. So don't ever give up on that as a cannabis person, as a cannabis industry person. You know, we can fight for these things and we'll never give up. And we will one day fight and build the industry that we want. It's not going to be easy, but we got to stick to our guns. Yeah, see, Cali Exotics, the funny thing is the dispensaries in Canada before it went legal, which were medical dispensaries in BC, were fed by the home AC and PR grower. So it was actually quite a symbiotic relationship. It was the closest thing to perfect we ever got here. Yes, ganja, now your mama. Okay, I got a feeling I'm like super behind now. Jeremiah Sanchez, I find it easier to grow in the winter than the summer. No, you know, but see, Cali Exotics, like, I mean, my big thing in that is like, oh, it's cheaper to buy than grow. It's like, no, not if you know what you're doing. And that's why, like, I think it's right now of the utmost importance for me to, like, get our how-to videos back on, to keep this going, to get the girls going, and, like, be interacting with people with at least my humble 2 cents on how this works. It is more important now for the home grower now to be educated and be able to learn things and be able to further their understandings on things than it ever has been before. Bear with me, everybody. I'm just reading. Well, dude, and Cali Exotic, so like I think you're actually a little bit wrong on that, right? Like, I mean, there's already kind of giant generic weed out there, right? Like, I have been a grower who has always said, let the big companies exist. My only qualm is that I can't exist because I was been set up, right? Like, but it's like the people who are going to buy Budweiser are going to buy Budweiser. But the true weed smokers, the true weed enthusiasts, are not going to buy some generic conglomerate brand. They want boutique cannabis grown like motherfuckers like myself and the rest of y'all. Okay, that's what most weed true people are. All these new people kind of coming into the industry to elevate sales. I mean, maybe one day they'll become educated and they'll realize that real weed's actually a whole different thing than that crap you're buying at Walmart or some other shit. Okay, but let them have that. It's called a diversified market. At the end of the day, we as smaller growers cannot produce enough money to ever fulfill the needs of the many. Our market's always been boutique. Our market has always been craft. We're never going to sell to that many people. We just got to sell our shit and sell it at a decent price, both for us and for them, right? I don't see there being a threat from conglomerate weed. There will always be people who are going to prefer to go buy the cheaper thing or buy the conglomerate thing. But we are an industry that has been built of a love of the boutique, the love of the craft, the love of the true weed. There's room for both of it. My only qualm is, like, in my country, it is not, people like myself are not allowed in unless we got millions of dollars. And that's fucked. Let's see. That's why we go off grid, ganja now, yo mama. Hey, happy fucking birthday, Jansen Dennis. I'm very happy. Happy birthday, brother. You 51 today, son? Okay, I'm just gonna like read really fast so I'm like caught up, everybody. Thank you, Eugene Dolan. Much love. Of course, you got your heart on for Walmart. I love it. I love you, Mikey. Again, Cali Exotics, I think the people who are freaking out about that are ignorant to the industry and don't have any marketing skills. If you are good at this, if you are a brand, if you are a grower, you will never lose your true customers. Don't be afraid of some conglomerate or the ease of this. And if you think it's easy to go to a store and drive that, offer home delivery. Do a bunch of things. Make it creative. Yes, I'm not saying we won't have to be not be competitive as small companies. I'm not afraid of it. Bring it the fuck on. I spent my whole damn career fucking fighting large companies. Good. I'd be too bored if it was too easy. Come on now. Stop selling yourself short. That's my point. Don't allow anxiety that doesn't really have a base to exist. If you are worried about something hypothetically happening, make conscious decisions now in terms of how your company runs to avoid it. You see a potential issue that may come from them, well, then build a fucking thing before they get there so it's never going to be an issue. Be smart. Trust yourself. And be brazen. Those who are those who take risks, those who have vision, those who are willing to just go do rather than wait to see are the ones who will win. And no truer words have been said in terms of this industry and this developing industry on any goddamn channel about this. This is most brands are too competitive to help each other and help anything. I'm telling you, as someone in the industry, very, very knowledgeable about the industry and how it's developing and how things are going in a lot of different parts of the world right now. Play by these rule books, by these points and these visions and these creativities. You will never have an issue. And if you have an issue, you get creative again and you fight it. Don't be afraid. David and Goliath, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you, but like I've always been the underdog and almost everything I've ever done. I like being the underdog. If you win being the big giant, super giant, that's just far too easy. Bear with me. I'm reading now. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. Thank you for all your wonderful, beautiful, kind words here, but I'm just trying really try to absorb everyone's shit right now so I can catch up and actually maybe, there we go, I caught up. Woo! There we go. I agree, Visible Farmers. Be your own everything. And at the same time, look, I find that far too many people in our industry sometimes, far too many people in this industry get used to one way of being. And the second something changes, they panic. I'm like, motherfucker, have you not been in the industry for a while? Like, literally, the game has changed 1,001 since I got into it, man. You know? Prices go up, they go down, they change. Products change. Fuck, look at BC back in the day. You know, it was Sat Dom, and all of a sudden Kush was king, right? And everyone's like, what the fuck am I going to do? It's like, yo, there's always going to be competition. There's always going to be a changing field of any market. That's what makes it fun. Stop making these things that give us an invitation to be creative, to grow as growers, as business people, as industry professionals, as something that's an issue. Because if you want to sit there and do everything the same way and just fucking sit on your ass and never change anything, that's just being a Xerox. That's just being boring. Come on now. The plant changes sometimes hour to hour. We literally work with a plant that can change very quickly. We have to be at one with our plants in that regard in terms of our own ability to change and adapt. Marijuana is one of the most adaptable plants on the goddamn planet. It will survive. We need to be the same. We need to take a lesson from the thing we love and embrace it into our hearts in the way we go about it. All right? I hope that makes sense. I smoked a lot of hash before this, but I genuinely mean everything I'm goddamn saying. And I will apologize. I really need to pee. Damn. So, everybody, you all keep talking for a minute. I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab another beer too. And then we're gonna keep this wonderful, fun conversation about how do we stick it to the man and keep surviving as cannabis people in the industry, okay? I'll be right back. All right. And I'm back. Now, building off my weird tangent of just now, okay, here's another thought I had, all right? So here's my point, right? Right now, a lot of growers, a lot of industry people, a lot of everything in terms of the cannabis space, right? Everyone's like panicking about all this shit. I was just talking about adaptability, growth, and changing things, okay? But the way they're talking, the way they're allowing their anxiety to work is they're playing or acting or feeling like they're a victim, okay? I'm going to talk to you about definitions of words right now. We aren't victims. You aren't a victim, okay? Because a victim has no power. A victim has already accepted defeat. A victim is already someone who's just sitting there and wallowing in it. Are we being victimized? Yes. Are we under stress? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. But the day we fucking allow ourselves to be the victim is the day we lose all hope. We can be victimized, but we will stay strong. We will stand, and of course I didn't. It's my dick. I washed my hands 30 times today at work. I don't need to wash my hands right now. I'm going to fucking take a piss and I'm going to do my show, Lieutenant Blazer. Okay? But the fact is, let us not be the victim. Let us maybe own and accept that we may be being victimized and be pushed out of our own industry, whether it's on YouTube or on anything else. Okay? But the fact is, we are growers. We are fucking Potsquatches. We are the stoners. Okay? Some of the most creative people, adaptable people, and creative people. And you know what? Necessity, sometimes in the dire straits, is the mother of invention. Okay? So let us not be sitting here freaking out thinking we're fucked or getting pushed around or fucked no matter what we do. Oh no, there's a bunch of giant conglomerates coming. I say, man, hold my beer. Let's do this. All right, they're going to need 10 friends to take me out. Okay? Let us not forget where we came from. We have been fighting since day one. Well, no, since Prohibition back in the hood days, starting at the end of World War II. And then, Nixon didn't help anything, did he? But anyway, we are fighting for our shit, you know what I'm saying? And the fact is, we will never lose as long as we keep showing up. And the fact is, take any motherfucker, new or old, to we, and you compare something that we have grown and put our love to and our craft and our artisanship to, and then you compare it to some shit you bought at a store, that's bullshit. We'll always win, man. Straight the fuck up. Play not the victim, my Potsquatches. It is okay to be victimized. It is okay to acknowledge the bullshit that's happening. But at the same time, never give up. Never stop. When they come at us, rather than being afraid or letting our fears win, because any fool will say not afraid is a fucking fool. Every man, woman, they, ze, or they has fear. But let your fear and anxiety inspire you, not destroy you. It can be hard, but it is doable. And that, in that place that we think is what our end is as an industry or as the small batch craft grower or this or that is, in lies where our future is. Of winning, of battling, of being. Okay? Exactly. I like that Cadillac Jack. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. I will add something to that. Okay? Assess, analyze, improvise, adapt, and overcome. I'm just going to add a couple of initial precursors to that Cadillac Jack. But hashtag boom, son. Everybody, we're here, we're loud, we're proud. Okay? Walmart wants to get in on weed, great. Walmart wants to make any real money, they're going to have to kiss our asses and carry our product lines. Stop taking away your power. We're actually at a very good time. We are not victims. We may be the little people being victimized slightly, but we are trailblazers. We are the ones who've been fighting the battle from the original standpoint. We're the ones that hold the seeds. We're the ones that hold the true genetics. We're the ones that know the true knowledge. We are the, what do they call us now? Legacy participants in the industry or legacy growers? I like that, actually. Some people have issue with that terminology from mainstream. I like it. You're damn right with the legacy. We're the ones who built this spaceship, bitch. I'm gonna have a sip of my beer now. Sorry, I don't think I breathed that whole time, everybody, so you're going to need to give me a minute to put some oxygen in my brain. Maybe a little nicotine. So anyway, everybody, I apologize for the preachy moment, but I felt like it was something that needed to be said. I felt like it was something that was important to tell. Because what I have shared with you just now is, in actuality, the truth of what is going to happen in the future. Many of us have already tapped out of this industry. Many of us have given up. Fine. And I'm not talking you. I'm not talking you, okay? Because you're still here, sitting here watching. I'm talking about people I know that spent their lives doing this, loving this, seemingly as much as I or you do. But they already admitted defeat. Well, fuck y'all. You've forgotten our origin. We will win. We will be. Winning doesn't mean there's never going to be a giant conglomerate Walmart weed. Hell, I think Walmart weed's a good thing. Let them try crap. Because when they come try my shit, they're going to go, damn. Know what I'm saying? Technically, my mom, too, I guess, Jeremiah. Now, he doesn't preach that way. He was never as quiet. Well, actually, that's actually not true. Sometimes in his homilies, he would be a little intense. But the fact is, everybody, we are at exciting times. Do not think things are lost. We are in hard times. We are in start times. We are in the times that are going to show us what we really will become. But we are here. We have scared them, the big conglomerates. Look at Canada. First 6 bloody months, they lost $167 million in a singular small East Coast province on legal weed. Okay? It's all good, son. It's all good. Just keep at her. Treat it like the dick of life. Keep on stroking till it comes. I love it, Visible Farms, Wally Weed World. Good times. Hashtag boom bowl of seeds. Hashtag boom, son. And that's what the fucking PSGA stands for. That's what we fucking mean. We never give up. We never surrender. We are here. We're going to help empower anyone who wants to walk with us in this industry. That's the whole goddamn point. You ever wonder what happens when the ants realize they outnumber them? They may have more money than us, but we have the skills, we have the know-how, and we can survive. We're very adaptable because we're also stoners. We're stoner ants. Strong, many, and creative. Never give up. Never surrender. Blasted Puff and Potsquatch, what flavors you have in mind? In what regard? Oh yeah, by the way, our store's open. You can buy all the CBD, most affordable CBD line in the world. Ours. We're going to be having genetics up on the website in the next week or two. I just got to get the fancy new labels done. But we, last couple of shows, we showed a bunch of the beans to everybody. It was all like, oh my God, they're still big. Potsquatch, your beans are still big. I was like, oh, thanks. See, that's the thing you got to remember, everybody. If it weren't for the fact of like these big giant companies making generic weed existing, craft true cannabis would mean less. If we didn't have that, it would make what we do, our art, our love, mean less. I hope you understand what I'm saying with that, because it's kind of true. Do you want to see it again, guys? Not of your mama. I actually might have one of my old headshots over here. That's a different picture that you can look at, guys. Maybe, unless I got rid of those. Bear with me here. I also found the strain list. Ooh, and I found a joint. Fuck, I love past me right now. 1 second, everybody. I got a joint to smoke, but I'm trying to find one of my old headshots to show Gotcha Nine of your mama. I may have some of them floating around here in one of my things here in the office. I think I may have also gotten rid of them. Sorry, Gotcha. I was going to show you some other pictures of me with hair and no beard. You may have excited yourselves. But I found a joint, though. Hey! All right. I've been sitting there for a while. Hell yeah, Miss K's Garden. We are many. We are the industry. To quote Anonymous. And we're going to lift their shit to our thing because I think it's actually a very similar reality in many senses in a generic statement. We are Legion. That actually means Potsquatch Growers Army. We are many. Expect us. Now I got to read. Still tastes pretty good. What would you have been? I didn't grow your ashes too dark. You would have come from one of my students. Sorry, I'm trying to remember or figure out what this is. Spicy. I don't even know. It's spicy though. Hell yeah. Go Edmonton Oilers. I agree. I think they're going to rock it. All right, everybody. I'm just reading now. All right, that's probably enough. At least for now. This is good. Yeah, it's spicy. I mean, the ash is a little dark. I didn't grow that one. It came from someone I knew, obviously. I could definitely taste a twinge there. But it's spicy, though. And it's got some nice inflections, kind of upper ethereal. Well, there's some mid-body there, too, though. Yeah. Yeah, I keep wanting to go back to it's spicy. But I was pretty stoked about finding that joint. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, man, I gotta leave my hash upstairs. I need a bit of a tweak for my show now, But hey, here it is. Jason A has a question. Any advice for transitioning from indoor to outdoor? I've been exposing them daily to 4 to 6 hours. They don't get murdered by hot July weather. One, I just super shock them right away. Fuck transition. Like I said, tough plants, adaptability. I'm a little sadistic in my thing. So, take them aside and just shock them. Don't transition them. The strong will survive. And those are the ones you're going to want. But really, in terms of the hot July and the kind of excreting thun of death, which quite possibly could hit a lot of us this summer, okay, build a scrim. Never underestimate the power of a scrim when it comes to high intensity light. What's up, Stony Baker MD? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. You're a bit late today. Unlike you. Anyway, good to see you. I'm just teasing. So, Jansen, you not flying the plane right now? Still wait for my picture, man. Jansen Dennis, I mean, typically you can actually push a plant pretty hard. I mean, I've written things pretty hard. Like I wrote my Sasquatch strain once till about like almost 12 weeks. It was over 12 weeks. I think I actually did that on the channel too. I think we got, I'm trying to remember now. It's like at the beginning of the channel. I think it was like 65 to 75% Amber Tracks on that one. She was different. It was good. She was different. uh, was it a place that I like to ride that strain? No, it's usually better, like more like 25 ish. But it was interesting. And it was definitely a fun experiment to do to see how long I could ride it. And she never nannered. She didn't do anything, like no seeds, nothing. Um, yeah, it was pretty crazy. So, Stony Baker MD, be careful. Don't hurt yourself, my friend. Have a good night as well, Miss Case Garden. Be safe and much love, my sister. Now you got to remember, Jansen, though, some genetics, and it's more now than it used to be. Okay, will Hermie on you, Ninja Nanners, or this new thing I've discovered on certain things, man. I mean, they always existed, right? But like, it seems more common now with growth as I'm looking at them. The Ninja Nanner. It's like the Nanners have gotten smart and they hide. So you got to watch out for that. And that's where like daily farming and inspection, and like, you know what? I know it's scary to touch our plants. Okay. But that's why we leave some of those kind of initial fans on there so we can actually at least gently like pull. And we got to get our good glasses on if we're blind like me. And we got to look. And staying on top of your buds and your stuff and inspection is so important. That's why I love running myself as individual plants on tables or on the floor, in bundles, in cages, or tied up in this or way or that. Because with the weight and the fragility and the nannering of fucking genetics now, it's yet another reason why scrogs are stupid, in my humble 2 cents. Do they achieve a lot of wonderful things? Yes, of course they do. I mean, they do achieve things, but you can achieve these same things without limiting your ability to work on your damn plants. And with the things, ninja nannering more and all that, etc., it's fucked. What's my beard routine? Will I let it grow? I have a beard shampoo. I mean, we would like to release a beard shampoo eventually, but I got one that I like. Not gonna lie to you, it comes from L'Oreal. It's a cedar wood and whiskey, or cedar wood oil, not whiskey. That's my beard oil. Beard shampoo, and I don't know. I shampoo my beard once a day. I also use that same soap for my entire body. I'm a very hairy man. I am a walking beard, I guess. Then I will brush it after my shower. And then I will put on some Squatch Tank. Typically, I will put Squatch Tank in this part because I find that this is where it gets itchy, in this kind of around the jowls area. And then I'll do some along here and there. And then when I shave my head, I put some Squatch Tank on top of that. So I just massage that into my bald head too. That, and I brush it occasionally, or a comb. There is my beard regimen. My what? I know. I mean, if you mean my head's not horrible looking, yeah, no, I lucked out. I've got a fairly okay shaped head. Surprising for a man who's been punched in the head a lot, but it's a thick skull there, I'll tell you. Just like a weird, round, short butted egg. All right. Now, let's get back to Ninja Nanners. No, don't laugh. It's a thing. Ninja Nanners. They're coming out more and more now. So, for example, I'll give you a good example of exactly you as well, Blasted Puffin. Thank you for hanging out, my friend. But the Ninja Nanner, in actuality, though, would come out. So imagine you've got like kind of a triangulated sort of sugar leaf there coming out from the tight part of the coal. You're usually going to find these Ninja Nanners, from what I've noticed, on a lot of different plants, different species too. Here's like a bud, right? Ninja Nanners are going to normally not happen at the top. There's like a section right here where they're leaving like a lower, 45 to 65-ish% of that bud And that's the region where the ninja nanners appear. And they'll sneak out under these little sugar leaves. You can't find the damn bastards. And they'll just quietly dump. And then basically you'll have a clean top. This section will be clean, just nanners, and it'll blast pollen everywhere. But then that whole bottom section, seeded as all fuck when it happens. I've seen it happen in so many grows when a lot of my grow friends as well, like they're growing kind of a newer genetic or a new type of genetic and stuff, and it does end up happening. And they'll be like, yo, bro, can you come check it out? Like, it's like, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know how this is happening. I'm just like, that's when I started to notice. Ninja nanners. It's the only way I can describe them. Exactly, Growers Plus. But they're getting smart now. They're like hanging out in this one specific ring with like this one section on the bottom of colas, man. And in the last 5 or 6 years is when I really noticed it really becoming more and more prevalent, this thing. It's nuts. No, it's a thing, Growers Plus. It actually exists. It's fucked. But it is what it is. And that's something we can always, pay attention to. Well, I need another beer. But I'm enjoying this, everybody. But the fact is, Visible Farm says we force it to happen to collect pollen, but we use like light depth stress to do it. Yeah, no, totally Visible Farms. But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about these new age fragile genetics that like you fart on them wrong and we activate the ninja nanner kind of, sequence. When I was younger, when things did hermy, which was very rare back then, genetics were more stable. And then a lot of this newer age stuff that's getting compounded back and forth. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so prevalent now in some of these newer strains I've seen. Like, dude, like it's crazy. Like the attack of the ninja nanner. Oh my God. I'll be right back, everybody. Oh shit, I dropped my lighter. It's okay. It's okay. And we're back. No, it's crazy, man. You fart on that shit, and all of a sudden, like, well, there goes 65-ish% of my entire harvest. Ooh, I've got a few tips. Just a tip. Nothing but the tip. Oh, exactly. Texas squash. There you go. But anyway, long story short, that's why, I'm looking forward to continuing what we're trying to do and avoid all of these types of things to try to build things that, right now, the initial seeds are just us first starting to play out. But our life's mission at Potsquatch Growers is we're going to try to make a bunch of marijuana that not only can resist these new LED lights without freaking out or foxtailing, but also, you don't fart on it in it ninja nanners or super nanners or pollen bombs or just full out actually goes both. These are all different types of hermaphrodism, like it can exhibit itself in a bunch of different ways on your plants, and it's just very sad to see how common now in a lot of the genetics that are floating around that this just happens. Something else. Of course I smoked hash. I love hash. And at the same time, I don't smoke a lot during the show, but I also said, well, I'll smoke a little bit before the show. Hash will always work. Hash in the show works. That's why I don't smoke a lot of joints in the show. Something about hash that I'm just like, no, I can get, introspective on this and I can talk to you and we'll have a good show and address things. But, yep, no, hash good. No, I feel you, Growers Plus. That's why we're doing, like I said, what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring back sort of, genetics made from older shit. I mean, we've got a lot of experiments going on with newer shit too, but, because I want to fuck around with it. I want to see if I can fix it. Like one of the things I've been kind of approaching is like take this new age genetic crap and try to cross it back into older things. Let's see if we can actually find a way for this to work. Let's take some of these cool traits that, yes, like there are traits that have happened that I find interesting on newer age cannabis. Don't get me, trichomability. That's not me flipping you off. That's just the finger because I'm holding a vape. Nobody get mad at that. Fuck off. Oh shit, but that's what the middle finger means. Oops, I'm just being funny. So two, I love some of the actual dense ability we've developed since old school strains. So it's like we can take the trackability, not flipping you off, the dense ability, but then also combine it with actually some of the heirloom production ability in terms of actual like size and actual structures and this and that, and not being farted on and then it herms, and not having a spike of temperature change randomly happening occasionally that's going to make it wilt or do some weird thing, right? Like 'cause older genetics, especially like indica based older genetics, are fucking tough. You can torture them, and they're just like, all right, so okay, how are you? You having a bad day? You seem mad, like. But that's our mission, everybody. No, well, Cali Exotics. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I never really smoked a lot in the show. It's never, for example, like I won't lie to you, I smoke a lot of weed, but when it comes to showtime or making videos, I want to be able to try and be able to absorb information, read everyone's stuff as best I can, and kind of interact with you and share with you. So hash doesn't break my brain ever. I mean, there's something special about hash. It just works good. I like it. It's like I get all the stone, but none of the mental crippling of just being like, hey, everybody. Well, in Potsquatch Growers, I've grown some weed, I'll tell you, man. And like, I know stuff, yeah? Like, you ever grown weed? Right? All right. Uh-huh. So anyway, but I smoke hash and I'm like, I can still be me, like, and it's like it's important to me to be able to interact and be here with you. I've always enjoyed our shows and our live streams for being this kind of intimate interaction, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Cadillac Jack, it was more of a metaphor than a literal thing. I think in theory you should be okay, but I mean, maybe if you eat some spicy food the night before, don't let yourself fart in the flower room that day. They still may get mad at that. But other than that, normal fights should be good. More of a metaphor, really. Uh, 1 second, everybody. I'm just reading everyone's messages. uh, I'm almost there. 1 second. Okay, I'm caught up. But anyway, and also too, like, I also don't drink that much in the shows. Like, I'll have a few beers while we're doing this, and but I don't drink that much anymore. Like, I still drink, but in the earlier shows, like, I drank a lot. It was part of a zaniness there, and you know, um, yeah, like there were shows, everybody, like back in the hood days of Potsquatch Growers. Late at night, I get home from the bar, I'd had like 3 or 4 pints already. I get home like, all right, everybody, it's time for Friday night, and I'd have like 15, 16 beers, get super stoned. Those shows are still on the channel if you want to go try to find them. To be fair, they're pretty good. We got better numbers back then somehow. But then YouTube started hating cannabis channels in general. So, and I swore a lot back then too. So I don't fucking swear at all now. Fucking dumb cunt. Fucking Facebook. Or not Facebook, YouTube. And that's in a positive way of the word cunt, not a bad one. You can't get mad at that. Because YouTube is being cunty to all of us that love the marijuana. Very mean. Shadow blocking and all that shit. But we're still here. Some of you are still here, and that's beautiful. Okay, now I'm just reading again. Oh, yeah. So James Mercer, you got to remember, anything feminized these days often is going to come from another feminized compound genetic from someone else from back. So there's going to be a lot of compounding, forced feminization, which is basically saying Plan Z, the survival of the plant, okay, to make a feminized seed. Okay, so, but yes, of course they are. It is something that was stress induced. And so when you have compounding stress-induced natures of replication of actual genetics and interbreeding and intercrossing sometimes, especially like, I mean, there's just some really weird genetics and seed bases and seed bodies out there right now that just are doing some really weird shit. So as I've often said in the show, I'm basically writing off last 15, 20 years of anything, typically with a lot of the experiments I really want to work on with the stuff that we have. It's just trying to save modern weed for the future generations. The Potsquatch is yet to come. If we're not careful, we're going to lose genetic integrity of actual marijuana, everyone. It's very sad. It's very sad. What, tobacco mosaic virus? What, nicotine or? No. All right, you probably talked to someone else, by the way, Pilgor. I'm just like stoned and reading everyone's shit. Well, see, and I drink out of respect still, but I'm trying to be a good boy, you know. I got an international company we're running now, trying to do good shows, you know. But at the same time, you know, that's one of the things. I'm like, how do I bring back, you know, the saucy fireness without getting too, you know, sloppy now and being mindful of things? I think I'm getting better at it. One thing here, no. I mean, Cali Exotics, I could never give you you know, bona fide answer in terms of like this is exactly how that works. But in terms of different beers, you know, reacting differently, well, you got to remember, brewing beer is very much like the composition of marijuana and how it's diverse. There's all these different factors to it. You know, breeding weed and brewing beer very similar to um, different ingredients, different beverages, different processing things. I mean, you know, is it draft as well? Like for some people, that's the thing, but I think it has to do really with the basic mash that's being cooked down to create the beer, man. A bunch of different things go into it. A bunch of different weeds go into a new weed, does different things. What's there? Sorry, everybody. It's been a lot of messages. I'm working on it. No. You know what? Stony Baker, I just gotta read this one. I'm just reading over this shit. I had to stop at this guy. So Stony Baker's like, Josh, do you feel like a teacher of a class of short busters? And I said, I was gonna say, well, no, but I was like, I'm gonna adapt this one. Yeah. We're all on the short boxes. We don't need to compensate. We're just comfortable in ourselves. And guess what? We're dangerous motherfuckers and we know what we can do. So hashtag boom there, buddy. Do not inadvertently break ribs in the show, my friend. But no, I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends. I feel like I occasionally, yes, I get to teach and share, of course. But no, it's my fucking pot squatchers. We're a bunch of crazy assholes who love to grow marijuana, love marijuana. We have opinions about other things. We have chats, you know, that's what these lives are about. Just hanging out, doing the thing, you know, having a good time. Hello, bro, you know, just have a good time. Also, too, stores open, everybody. Very exciting. There's going to be more bells and whistles and cool things to the website, as we can afford to build them, But it's working. We did it. I'm pretty stoked with that. Jansen Dennis says, take off a what? But anyway, so long story short, the store is actually open, so that's a good thing. We're going to be getting the actual grow back together and going well. And the main thing we got to do tonight is we're going to be harvesting the last 2 sets of seeds. Let's be honest, I probably will only get through one plant because it's thousands of seeds to a plant. All of these seeds are hand selected, hand graded, and separated initially, and then I re-go through them when I do packs. It's a process I enjoy doing, but it is something that hurts my back. Normally, how I end up sitting to do it, because I'm like in my stool. I'm like, I've got my good vantage point, and I'm like, yeah, and you start. You're like, all right, I'll elevate my feet, and I can do this, and I'm kind of getting close there, and got the lights on. And eventually, your back starts to go, you fucking asshole. Didn't used to do that when I was younger, breeding. That's all right. That's what fucking CBD tinctures from Potsquatch Growers is for, as well as smoke a bunch of doobies, smoke a bunch of hash, have a few beers. It's good for you. Cali Exotics. I've heard about a lot of the big companies I have released our lighting systems in response to about having these stories come out. My only comment will be, I'm not surprised. There's a certain way to do things to build things for people. Doesn't matter how big a company gets. If you have a commitment to a product, you make sure you source these things. If you cannot get enough to build 100,000 units, then you do not build 100,000 units. You tell the fucking world the honest truth. I only have access to this many units. This is the units available for sale this year until we get our hands on more. You don't cut corners. You don't lie to people. You don't mislead people, especially when you're overcharging people. Many companies have had similar stories like this come out. All I will say is there's a reason why we decide to do business the way we decide to do business. And I am not surprised to hear these stories coming out of these instances. All right. Hashtag boom. Hashtag boom, something else. Jansen Dennis, our CBD products are absolute guaranteed 0 THC. So rock and roll, buddy. Oh, something else? It's about loving weed and loving growing. It's part of existing. Harry's Extraordinary Summa Fanzi. If by Austin you mean Oz, you mean Alice, couldn't tell you. Haven't spoken to them in months. Wait a minute. Cali Exotics. Why did you invest into HLG? Well, I'm sorry that has happened, but my friend, it's about integrity. And I think, like a lot of these companies that get to a size and shit happens and hits the fan, I think the way I view it is a big part of it has to do with the fact that greed happens, sizability happens, and they grow to a point where they get overwhelmed. They try to find a way to keep making the money and do it. Slow growth, and then when you decide to go big, proper scalability and doing actual acquisitions in terms of parts and all of that is so key to anything you do. Because if you're going to bring something to market, if you're going to build a brand, you're going to build a guarantee, you're going to build something that you mean. you represent in something, you got to make sure that you have the scalability there when you try to go for the run. And so I'm not surprised that these companies do it because it's limited supply. Trust me, as a lighting brand and in acquiring parts, we've had to be very aggressive to get the top bin diodes we need and to get the parts we need to do what we want to do and actually keep building what we're doing. And again, I'm going to go back to greed. Greed comes back in there again, too. Like, oh, but I could get this thing that's like pretty kind of close, almost kind of, or something, right? And I don't know, but like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I guess respectfully, I mean this with all of my heart from businessman to businessman. Maybe don't invest again in a company until you really know what they stand for and what they're fucking about, A lot of companies are shady. They don't start off that way, but a lot of humans can be corrupted in certain things of certain concepts of success. But that doesn't mean everyone's that way too either, so I'm not saying like don't be there and active, just it sucks, but move on. You thought the dream was real. I mean that in a good way. Like, I mean, I hope that makes sense. A pie pie squash. My missus got hurt. She hurt her ribs, so she can't smoke. Yeah, no, don't do that. What could she take to relax her body? I mean, Alvin Mace. I mean, if you got a bit of pap, what you could do real easily is actually you could even make kind of a blended kind of a cocoa honey kind of a thing and do a slow, super low simmer of some honey, and with that cannabis in there, and then kind of slow cook that for an extended period of time. Like we're talking low levels, keep it stirring, keep loving it. I do it for about 45 minutes to an hour, maybe at about 220, 225. Before you do that, decarb it in the oven. Very low temperature. We're going to decarb real low. We're going to just like as low as your oven can go, as long as it's below 220, 225 Fahrenheit. If you can get that low, decarb it that way. Then just mix it in with the honey. You can leave it in the honey if you'd like, or you could also just strain it out. And then I would say make it into kind of something nice like a tea. After you let it sit, and then you can make it into a tea, or like hell, you could even bind it to a hot chocolate as well. That might do well, especially if you do a slow cook on that. That could be tasty as well. And that will be a slower absorption. But you could also take some of that infused honey you make that way, though, too, and just put it under her tongue. And it would be sublingual absorption where it goes through the soft tissues of the mouth and it'll go right into the bloodstream, right up to the brain to activate and hang out into her system. So that would be my number one thing that I would try to do on a quick end of what you could do easily if you got just some flour on you. What you can do, boom, done. That's what I'd say. Yeah, what's up, guys? Oh, yeah, our CBD oil works really well for these things too. But I was just telling you what you can make with weed. Yes, I'd sell products too. Everyone's like, Potsquatch CBD is the answer to this question. I'm like, yes, I should have said that too. But I'm going to tell you how you can also do it with something you got on hand. So, like, if you got some weed. Oh, fuck. Cali Exotics. Bad relationships happen. Accept it and move on. And stand with other brands that you may find. I'm technically a brand that takes things very seriously. I didn't mention that the whole time because I don't want to self-aggrandize that. But yes, I sell that. Same thing with the other thing. Everyone's like, Potsquatch CBD. I'm like, yeah, technically I sell that. But also, you could take some honey, though. If people want to buy shit from me, they can. And our products are the best to fuck around. And that's what we fucking do. But I'm not going to go slam it over your head. I'm here to help. That's why we do what we do with our products. Cali Exotics, we got your back. Check out our line. Jansen, it happens. Don't even worry about it. Sold price. We'll talk after the show. Sorry, I'm just reading now, everybody. I'm trying to absorb. These are the eyes of a man trying to absorb. Ashley Clifford, you could totally go back and forth on that. I mean, they can co-blend. I mean, it's not like something's against anything and like that. I mean, I've got a lot of things that are technically organic forms of things that I'll make that I'll then throw in with my synthetic nutrient line. Yeah, I'm all about, round robin shit and playing with it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So Jansen Dennis one. I do make cakes. I was a baker at one point in time many years ago. The one dessert I have currently going on is I make super fudge brownies a la mode with candy dunce with the kick with the salted beer caramel. Everything's made in house except the ice cream. I'm not gonna make ice cream. I'm too busy. But yeah, and it is my pot brownie recipe minus the drugs. When I was developing a new menu, like, well, my fucking super fudge hash brownies are fucking the top space knees. I bet you that. I mean, they're so good in terms of their taste. Like even yeah. So if I took the drugs out of that, and that's where the fucking dessert on my menu of my brewery came from. But yeah, it's a true story. Thank you, Growers Plus. Cali Exotics, one of my mods may have the actual link. Don't share the link that goes to the failed landing page where they're at the bottom of the thing. Share it to the thing. We make them in partnership with Soul Strip. Soul Strip was predominantly Cali Exotics, a parts company that came along. They had this basic prefab that they sold a few of them. We launched that at the first thing. And then we tweaked it into all that in. Then we released racks and we did things. We got different strips and this and that. But it's all made of the best shit. Okay? And we design our shit where you can get replacement parts and fix it if it fucks up. Obviously, out of warranty, we're not going to fuck you, is what our point is. We design our shit so you can fix it because you have a fucking right. If you buy something, you can fucking fix the dumb cunt. Let's stop wasting making garbage in the damn world, Everyone, I do believe Ozzy Lone Wolf has taken a large bong rip. No, exactly. I mean, Kenneth R. Knox, Uncle Potsquatch, we still getting, I spent what savings I had after the sale of the last house on the development of new things. So like, well, been it tight, so I became the head chef of the brewery. It's a salary. I get benefits for the first time in years. They give me some free beer too. So I mean, it's pretty good. But you got to do what you got to do while you're getting your company going, and that's what I'm gonna say to all of you at home. You wanna build your brand, you wanna build whatever you're doing, what you care about. You do what you got to do to get it done, and just do something you love. Make sure you're doing something you're passionate about and qualified to do, and just get it done. And be like, well, how can I go work a long job and then go build my thing? Well, you do it. You go work your job and you come home and then you work on that, and you enjoy the times where you get to sleep, but you'll feel good about the few times you get to sleep. That's how you do it. You're allowed to smoke weed and have a few beers if you're into that too. But I mean, also make sure eating is important, right? So, but it's do what you got to do. That's how we get ahead. That's my secret of success. There's going to be days where you hate it. There's going to be days where you break yourself down. There's going to be days where you're like, why do I do it? And then you think about everything you love about it. You're like, that's why I do it. And then you get back the fuck up and you do it. Oh, hell yeah, Roman. That sounds sexy, son. I'd love to see a video. You should make a clip and send it to me. Excuse me. I love something else. Are you like bouncing back through this live stream and you're just watching different parts of it, then coming back into the modern like colloquial of here I am? And you're like, Ninja Nanas, damn! Because I went off about Ninja Nanas for a while earlier in the show. So that's kind of fucking amazing. I love you something else. That's amazing. But I will say, my friends, it has been a wonderful show, but I must go harvest more seed. You want the seed, I must harvest the last of the seed so I can also get the rest of the grow set back up. My friends, Ninja Nanas maybe will go on the next version of our t-shirts. Or hashtag watch out for Ninja Nanas. It's going to be a long line. Remember, the true grower is the forever student. The true grower is not afraid to take risks. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. We learn more from our mistakes than we do from our successes. You're allowed to beat yourself up a little bit at first. That's what helps the lesson stick. But after this, we get back to business time. I love you. Love you still. Hashtag boom. Word to your mother. I'll see you next time. Peace. Love all you. Rock and roll, motherfucker.